Yes.
To the President, given where we are as a country, as a safe haven for hundreds of thousands from the region around the world, and our standing even. Most recently, we did assume a higher seat or position within the United Nations Human Rights Council. And we're now seeking the chairmanship of the African Union. Not that the president has, lack or, the deficit of advisors, but from LSK's position and seat, please just speak to the president in terms of what this is doing to the country and your desire to the president. Speaking to that camera.
The promise that was once made in 2022 that Kenya will no longer be business as usual, especially in terms of enforced disappearances and extrajudicial killings, Mr. President. And you will remember that as a Law Society, we visited State House and we did submit to you a copy of our position on extrajudicial killings and enforced disappearances. And you gave us a promise that this will not be happening in Kenya. We are not saying that all is lost. We are saying that may the lives of those who came before us and those who laid their lives to see a better Kenya be of meaning. Be of meaning in the sense that they do not go out without value. That it is possible to have a Kenya that works for everyone. A Kenya that is inclusive, a Kenya that does not segregate, a Kenya that does not say wale na sisi, a Kenya that is holistic in terms of its agenda and aspirations to develop, to grow, to see the farmer produce through sheer sweat, and to see that farmer be able to sell in the market, and to see consumers buy without the necessary burden of an increased wage bill or an increased taxation regime. It is possible to have a parliament that works for its own people. It is possible to have a judiciary that is working in terms of the justice sector. And it is possible to have an executive that is implementing policies to see a better Kenya. We are not, importantly so, Mr. President, we will all live here dead. There is that guarantee that none of us is living here alive, including all of us, even in this studio. So it is important that we see ourselves for the persons we are, and to see the possibility of having a Kenya that is inclusive and one that embraces everyone, even with their differentiated opinions or their differentiated backgrounds, because sooner or later, time will make an equilibrium of all of us.
Thank you for that one. Now to Mwananchi. What is my practical step that I can take, and what is within my rights if I find myself either abducted or bundled into some car by these operatives, or if I know or I learn that my loved one has been bundled in or taken by these abductors? What is a practical step I can take, and what is my right that I should be able to be given access to?
Once you have been abducted and the process of abduction is over, then it's purely a game, a mind game. It is more of a physical as well as a mind game on what they want from you. Probably it is information they want from your device, or information they will want from you. And so you have to balance the aspect of cooperating with what they want, as well as putting your foot down and affirming your position on resistance or on the occurrences that are happening. If you find out that your loved one has now undergone the current state of abductions, then the best step is, first of all, to report to a police station near you so that it can be on record that something has happened, and to ensure that the police take superior steps to, first of all, make a circulation of if you have the number plates of the car, if you have the color, the make, the description. Additionally, it is important to, and this is something very unique, somehow leave your location on your phone. It is very easy to track it. If you have an iPhone, it is easy to track an iPhone than an Android phone in terms of locate my iPhone. If you have apps on your Android that can help track, there are devices that you can always have. If you do, I mean, they're not mandatory. Even a phone itself costs some money, but if you have these devices, then you better put them on settings that they can't be tracked. I know for sure the pods, the smartwatches, the rings, even when they are lost in your house, you have the ability to actually track it, and it beeps you within a certain range, and you can be able to find this. Importantly, reach out to the Kenya National Commission on Human Rights, reach out to the Law Society of Kenya, reach out to Amnesty International, reach out to the Kenya Commission on Human Rights, reach out to all these well-wishing organizations, Amnesty, if I did not mention it, because they mean well, and we have the wherewithal to work with our partners who can ensure that somehow, even though we will not be able to locate you, we will be able to find out various aspects as to your disappearance. Why have you been abducted? Because sometimes, if not all the times, there is usually a reason behind the abduction, and who has abducted you, and what is the motive. And the pressure that we put, the constant pressure that we put is not in vain. It is something that these persons who are abducting are not comfortable with, because they now have to answer so many questions to whoever they answer to. And this discomfort then puts them in a very awkward position in terms of your continued illegal detention. So somehow, sometimes they feel the need and the urge to release, but sometimes also the unfortunate incidences where some of the persons who are abducted are actually found dead, and it's quite unfortunate, but that is the reality of where we are living in.
And it's unfortunate that we're actually talking about tips to protect yourself against such, or if it happens to you, because that's not where we are meant.
We should not be there
as a nation.
We should be talking about inventions of technology. We should be talking about improved agriculture. We should be talking about means of improving the economy. We should be talking about entrepreneurship. We should be talking about how younger people will fill the gap in terms of generational equity. But now we are talking about things that ought not to discuss the agenda of a nation. We are now losing the breath in how we choose to traject towards a better Kenya when we are talking about.
But something that you have, and I take home, is just the fact that we can also do something. Because you see, a Kenyan might feel very helpless. I'm not Mwaura Kabata, I'm not the vice chairperson of LSK. I'm not this journalist that is well known. You know, I don't have well-known families or relatives. I don't have people in high office. But what you told me about the Mwananchi can actually play a critical role, just like that City Hopper bus driver, to stop these acts on a daily basis.
Absolutely. Yeah. And when it becomes unstoppable, what you're calling, you termed it as civil unrest. It will not be civil unrest. It will be unrest on the part of the perpetrators, because now they will know that, in fact, they are on to us.